Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richard Simmons, JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. No, I'm lying. It's a little cloudy, but it's nice and warm, But it's still beautiful. But today I'm doing my podcast out by the water. Just enjoying the experience. And I have a guest for you guys. His name is OJAYDoneDidit. He is a military veteran, and I wanted him to talk to you guys so y'all understand about life choices and different choices y'all have in careers when y'all deciding on what y'all want to do in life. This is all for you guys, the kids. So, so with that being said, I want to introduce OJ. Actually, his name is Omar Talford. Huh? You say it.
OJAYDoneDidit. Don't forget it.
No.
Omar.
Okay. So that's Omar. So I'm going to ask Omar a few questions and things that I'm curious about, things that y'all may be curious about. And then I'm going to turn it over to him for a little bit and let him give y'all some insight on what his military experience was. A lot of people be scared to go in the military. However, you have to take that leap of faith sometime and say, hey, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it not only for me, but for my family. Because it comes with great benefits with the government. And, you have some leverage and perks. Just like even with the music, we get leverage and perks. So every organization has its bad side and its good side. And that's what we're here to learn about the military. Now, what did you serve in? What part of the military?
So, I served in, not Korea, it was Kuwait.
No, what was your, was you in the...
Army?
Yes. That's what I was trying to get out. Okay. So he was in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lot of different ones, y'all. You got the Army, the Navy, the Marines.
Mm-hmm. Army, Navy, Marines, and then you got the U.S. Air Force.
Right, the Air Force. That's what I was trying to get out.
Yeah.
And it's crazy I couldn't remember this morning, y'all, because I had the song, The Rundown, you know what I mean? And I named all of them in there. Okay, so that's my lapsed mind this morning.
Yeah.
However, so you said I spoke over you. I do apologize about that.
Mm-hmm.
You said you was in Kuwait.
Mm-hmm. I was in Kuwait. It was hot, very hot. Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah. You might want to go ahead and have your proper PPE, which is, your gear. So have your water source.
Okay, so when
110 degrees can do some damage to you now.
Okay. Ooh, 110.
Hey, yes, ma'am.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, I would probably fall out in that weather. Mm-hmm. I want to go back a little bit. Okay, so what was your process? In Kansas?
I was in Kansas and Alaska, and that was the only two places that was a real duty stations that I went to after my AIU? No, what is it? AIT? Is it AIT? It's AIT. It's AIT and basic. So AIT is advanced individual training, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and then basic is just your basic training because that'll be your interaction with getting into the military experience.
Okay.
With Marines, Army, Navy, that's your training,
Right. That's what I was going to ask you about, but you had started talking about the difference, because I had asked where you were stationed.
Right.
So that was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to ask you about the beginning, like how does the process start,
Well, so you go through MEPS. The first process is actually taking the leap of faith, right? Taking a chance, taking a risk. Life is about risk balance and trying to stay focused on your goals and everything. So you definitely want to be able to figure out what you want to do in life, and realistically, you know, you gotta take chances. You gotta take life chances, and life is about risk management too. I want to talk about that too, but we'll go on.
Okay. So, like, do they go, like, to the recruiter first, and they break it all down to them there? And do you choose your career with the recruiter?
Recruiter first, yeah. You're on the right page. You good. So you what you do is, the first process is, you know, taking that leap and figuring out what you want to do. So that way, they'll give you the options, and then you'll choose what you want to do. So I chose supplies, logistics, and I love logistics. I like transportation, distribution, organization, and everything like that. And I'm pretty good with organization, but then again, I fail to forget that, like, I can't procrastinate because life can give you delays and everything like that. But anyway, my process was MEPS, recruiter, MEPS.
So what's MEPS?
MEPS is pretty much the process of going through your medical and your background and everything like that. So you got that, bam, right?
Now let me ask you this: if you have like a small record, like no felonies, will the military take you?
It really all depends. You know, there's going to be like loopholes, but then again, and when I say loopholes, I'm talking about ways to figuring out to get those records released off your, you know, so that way you can get expunged. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Correct. Yeah. So you get those expunged off your record. You get your record expunged, and then what you do is you'll go ahead and talk to the recruiter, and he'll line you up with a slot. But first you got to take the ASVAB. The ASVAB is the test that they'll measure your intellect, pretty much. Okay. You know, you got math, science, you got, you know, different type of ideas. Like back in school, when I was in New York, I took trade classes. They don't have that down south, like they do in upstate. So that's why I appreciate the things that I've done, and it's a good thing to go through the process of figuring out what you want to do as far as like taking that leap. Military. I chose military. Right. But I only chose military for college. I really wanted to do school. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to figure out,
but because they pay for school,
right? Okay. You know, you gotta move smart. Okay, you gotta move smart, guys. All right, I'm telling you. Okay. I teach you a little bit of one or two.
Yeah, because, you know, they do have financial aid out here. But, of course, we know that we exhaust our financial aid after a certain amount of time and a certain amount of credits. Right. And that makes it really hard for people to finish school, like myself. I wasn't able to finish school because I didn't have the funding. But they have scholarships out here, but then you're like a bunch of people in a pot, and they pulling out a name. So it's like, okay, when do I get my funding? You know, so that's an option, you know, because I'm not the only person that's been through that. I meet several people that started school and couldn't finish because they would have had to take out loans, and they really couldn't afford to be taking out loans to finish school. Like myself,
and it's about what you know.
I couldn't do it because I had a child. So I had a child young, so I had to work, and sacrifice for that. So that was one of the reasons why I couldn't finish. However, for a person that doesn't have children or a single male that want to do something with his life, the military is a great opportunity. Absolutely, you know.
Absolutely, I encourage those who, you know, realistically, I encourage those who want to go ahead and I continue to say take that leap, because, you know, you got to figure out what you want to do, move wisely and swiftly, you know, hurry up, you know.
Now, tell a lot of the young kids, you know, especially the guys that be out here gangbanging, you know, not understanding what the streets and gangbanging is really about, you know. And I always feel like if you're going to die for something. Right. You know what I mean? Don't die on the street.
Can I be realistic with you?
Gutter.
You know what I mean? Man, look. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right? I'm going to be realistic. You have to figure out what you want to do in life, right? And a lot of people don't know what they want to do because of things that, you know, they've been intimidated by. And people are intimidated by, you know, fear. And what I've learned is that I'm going to teach you something. There's a quote, well, not really a quote, it's called FOMO, fear of missing out. And A fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out.
Exactly.
FOMO.
Yup, FOMO.
Okay.
You got, catch on. So get that aspect of trying to figure out what you want to do and be consistent, be consistent. Consistency is key. And think abundant thoughts and not broken thoughts, And I was just telling you about this.
Right.
Right. And, as we talked prior, we wanted to figure out what we can do to build, period. Just build, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever it
and that's
be.
What the military can help you do, build.
Yeah,
you're building yourself.
It gives you actually courage.
Right.
Yeah. If it was one word that I can say that I gained, it's courage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's realistically.
Okay.
So you gotta think what you want to do. Make sure it's certain what you want to do, and move assertively and deliberately. You know what I'm saying? Move.
Now,
one sound.
The military teaches you discipline.
Yeah, discipline. Yeah, there you go. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
discipline.
I grew up with military family, so I have a lot of. And then I moved to Maryland, where there's nothing but military. So, it was always the same feel.
Red Bull.
It was always the same feel and understanding. They all had the same outlook and the same aspects of everything. So it was easy for me to attract those type of people because I already had that background in my life because that's what I was taught.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
So I know it's good, but a lot of people don't understand it because they haven't been around that or
experienced that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, with that being said,
I get what you're talking about.
But I wanted to ask you one more question. Just give me a second, guys. I'm gonna be right back.
This is getting in depth.
All right, I'm back, guys. I wanted to ask you this. I was saying, what you had cut me off a little bit.
Sorry.
That's okay. About like the guns. These kids, they running around with these guns. They're illegal. They don't know how to shoot them. Because they've never been taught. They don't even know how to work the guns. All they know how to do is pull the trigger. And, I tell a lot of them, if you want to play with guns, then you need to go to the military so you can be taught how to do what you need to do when that time comes, and you have to learn how to be disciplined. Even with just owning a gun in the state of North Carolina, you have to learn how to be disciplined. They teach us discipline is the key because you don't always have to pull. You give people warnings, So my main objective with what I'm saying right now is to get the kids to understand that playing with firearms is not good. You know what I mean? And if you want to play with firearms, go learn how to play with firearms, professionally. And I've been trying to get that across to them. So how do you feel about that? I mean, like, kids that love firearms, so obsessed with firearms, would those be the type of people that will be good candidates for the military? Do you think?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just I'm asking.
No,
So.
And what you acknowledging that and everything, it just brought a whole perspective of trying to figure out how to use weapons properly, firearms properly, instead of misusing it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's very,
And see, a lot of these kids be out here, and this is my biggest issue with the kids, and this is why, I pretty much started this podcast and started my movement, because the kids don't have the knowledge. You know what I mean? So, it's easy for someone to say, hey, go into the military, Oh, so-and-so in our family did it. But what is it about? Nobody ever explains the details to these kids, you know?
Right.
And it's not like in some states, you go in some states, you'll see, what state was I in when you see recruiter officers? It was in Jersey? I can't remember what state I was in, but you see recruiter officers everywhere. I've been all through North Carolina and haven't seen a recruiter office yet, okay? And I'm not saying that they're not here. I know they're here somewhere. You know what I mean? I just haven't seen them. And sometimes we have the tendency to forget our opportunities that's out there because we're not visualizing it, you know what I mean, and able to see it on a regular basis, able to talk to the people and say, hey, well, what is it like going in the Army? What can I get out of going in the Army, or the Navy, or whatever the case may be? I feel like there should be more of that out in the communities, and military officials should come out into the communities and just give the information so they can at least have it. You understand what I'm saying? Because, when kids, what's the thing that I notice with kids? When they get by themselves, when they first they look at people, and they be like, okay, who do I want to be like? They may take this from this person, this from that person, this from that person. Then when they get alone in a room, that's when they start thinking, and they say, okay, well, what am I going to do with my life? I got to do something with my life, And if they had pamphlets, say that military pamphlet was sitting on their dresser, and they're like, okay, let me, you know what I'm saying? I didn't read it before, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get my life in order. Let me just look at this thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like the military should put more effort into getting those pamphlets out there to give these kids options. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're in a house and you have a parent that's not going to come to you with different opportunities, what do you do as a child? You know what I'm saying? And I look at a child as being a person anywhere from the age of, from they born to, I would say, maybe 24, 25. You're still a child, And Obama set that straight with the United States. Like, y'all have to still take care of these kids until they like 25, until they figure out what they want to do. Do you want to go to college? Okay, I want to go to college, but my mother or my father or my parents don't have enough money, so I can't go to college. Okay. I want to get a job, but you need a degree to get a job. You know what I mean? So the jobs that they want, because they don't want to work at, say, McDonald's or, not saying that McDonald's got some good pay in some states. You know what I mean? And if you have a degree working at McDonald's, you can really get paid some money. However, they don't know these things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I feel like the military should be more active in the communities again. They used to be when I was young, They used to be very active. That can still happen, though. That can still happen. Yeah, they need to start doing that so these kids can have options,
And I think, and that's a good point that you made that, too, right? So check this. If any vets out there, and me being a vet, I encourage those vets who are still, they're still trying to survive, because, even some of the vets that's out there still help like the communities and like the homeless vets and everything, and like the those people who have been misused.
Now let me ask you this: if you got the opportunity, and say the government gave you funding, would you run a recruiter office?
A recruiter office, yeah, absolutely. But then again, the thing about that is, if I were to run a recruiter office, it would have to be more of a broader spectrum of me having, and not just an influence, but organization. Because I am, kind of like a person who does logistics, so I can make sure we have classes and with logistics and distribution and organization and everything like that. What people want to do.
Right. I'm just asking because, Governor Cooper, he listens to my podcasts, and he also, I write him on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. And when I ask, when I see something in the communities that I think should be better, they pay attention. They I don't always get what I want. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But when I tell them that if this happens, it can help. Right. You know what I'm saying? They will evaluate it. Right. You know what I mean? And if that's something that can be evaluated, like, okay, yeah, well, maybe that might help, this community. Mm-hmm. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I'm bringing it to play, because the first thing they're going to say, okay, well, who's going to do it? We're going to have to bring somebody from somewhere else. But if they already have somebody in the community, they can, hey, look,
Yeah.
we need you
bada
to do
boom.
this. You know what I'm saying? And can you try to get these kids,
Yeah.
signed up so they can get education, so they can, do the things that some dreams that they have, I had met a girl in this military here. Most of the military that's here, they work in corporate jobs. You know what I mean? That's why they come to North Carolina, to work corporate jobs. But what about the kids that want to get to where they are? You know what I'm saying? And then they're quick to say, yeah, I'm a military vet, but what did it take for you to get there? You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like Charlotte is missing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm bringing that to I'm talking about it because I feel like it's a need. Give the kids the opportunity to learn what it's about instead of being fearful of the stories that they've heard or see on social media. I was so happy
Absolutely. I agree.
Not this Christmas, but this past Christmas before last, I met a military official at the Sam's Club. And I showed him so much love because, he's in my community, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I love to see that. And you're fully dressed in your gear so other kids can see you. You know what I'm saying? This is a career. This is a job. This is something that can build your life, And,
innovative mindset.
Right.
Rather,
And I took pictures with them, put it online so kids can see. This is an opportunity you have, It's not just about trying to go get a job. You can actually start a real career.
Right.
And that's what we need to get. Because my kids here in my community, they're very good kids. They want to be. But they get caught up in the streets, and before they get caught up in the streets and get their lives torn away where they can't do anything, they should be able to be presented to opportunity. And that's not what they're being given, Just like when I was in school presented opportunity to me. However, I still led astray, just like them. So I know what they feel. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the top in the Bronx for science. I got accepted to the Bronx High School of Science. And I told myself, okay, I don't want to be a nerd because my friends are not nerds, However, it was still in me. But because of my environment, I chose to do sports because that's what was popular.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And sports didn't take me anywhere because I never made it.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
I can say that. I can say one word: favoritism. Why? Because people have favorites. You know what I'm saying? Because they relate to certain things that they already experienced, but then again, they want to continue on that pattern. Yeah.
Right.
Matter of fact, kind of like a generational
curse.
Yeah. There you go.
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
Now I sit back and I analyze. Now, if I would have went to the Bronx High School of Science, and I would have completed what I needed to complete, and went to college, my whole life would have been different. Okay, I would probably be working at NASA, or somebody's hospital, or doing something, you know what I'm saying, within science, and I said, damn, you really not messed up your life, because I have no regrets, but I know I could have went another path, you know what I mean, and did what was, I'm not going to say it was a dream because it wasn't a dream. It's just that I had the abilities, to get the good grades to show this is where you need to be, not where you want to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the problem. We always accept what we want instead of what we need.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying?
Now it sounds like you kind of like teaching, preaching, coaching.
but it's the truth, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God leads us down paths.
Okay.
And we, for some reason as human beings, we have this, well, I want this. But is that what God wanted for you?
Okay.
No. Okay, the geese are overtaking the podcast, y'all.
Shut up, Jerry.
Look, they landed and everything in the water.
You know what's funny because my Snap, I put which is Snapchat. I put Jerry on my I put Jerry on my Snapchat, and I fed him earlier, right? I fed him bread, and he ate the bread, right? and then the other geese kind of like attacked him. And then it just got kind of wild. Just check the snap.
Okay.
That was the
matter of fact, where can we follow you at? I mean, what's your social medias?
Oh, OJAYDoneDidit, don't forget it. OJAYDoneDidit is the IG. And then for Snapchat, I believe it's like OJ that guy 101, something like that. But then my actual name is like OJAYDoneDidit.
Okay, and you are on what social media platform?
Snapchat. I am on Facebook. I don't really. I rarely use too much media, because at the same time I just like to make sure sometimes some of my content will be influential to the point where people can have a variety of options of what they want to do in their career, or
right.
Just ideas of what they want to do with sports. Just a kind of like a prolific mindset to be innovative and be the best person that somebody else want to be, or that you want to be.
I want to say this to you.
What I'm saying?
I want to say this to you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take it personal.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have the educational attitude, but when we talk here on this podcast, try to break it down as much as you can, because that's one of the key problems. When kids or some people that just doesn't have education, they will never understand what you're talking about. I understand what you're talking about.
Understood.
But you got to keep in mind that we're talking to various people that may not understand the words that you're saying, and they're not going to even take the time to look it up to say, okay, what did he say, or what does he mean? They're not going to do that. They're going to be like, okay, whatever he said, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand it, So we've came to the terms where now people don't comprehend well.
Okay.
We've came to that terms. I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook. It's not about what you say, it's how you comprehend it. But if they don't understand it, they can't comprehend it. So just when we talking on my podcast, I just ask you to like dumb it down a little bit, keep it as simple as possible.
Short. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, short. They used to teach that in school back when I was in school.
Okay,
so,
and that's
what
we're trying to
stupid or something like that.
That's what we're trying to do, is keep everything as simple as possible so that people can learn to start comprehending, because you can say a million things to a person and they won't comprehend it, and you're like, how you did not understand what I said when these words has been taught in school, but they never grasp it, or they put it in the back of their mind, so they don't understand what you're saying, and you like talking, it's like you talking to a brick wall, like, and they just looking at you like, okay, and never understood nothing you said.
But honestly, that's real.
Yeah, it is, and we deal with that every day.
Yeah, no,
that's one of the biggest problems. And I mean, some grown people, not only kids, but some grown people don't be understanding what people be saying, and it's like, okay, whatever, and I'm like, did you just hear what I said to you? And you turn around doing the same thing, and it's like, because you never understood what I was trying to tell you. So we try to dumb it down a little bit, and not get too
simplification.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what my podcast, even with my music, I try to dumb it down a little bit, because this is the thing with kids. If they feel like they doing bad in school, they don't comprehend something, they shy away from it. You know what I mean? They'll walk away from it. But if they can physically understand what you're saying, and that's why I try to break it down to the simplest form. You'll see me some days, like if you listen to my podcast, you'll see me some days I get real quiet because I'll be getting ready to say something that I know they're not going to be able to understand, so I try to break it down in my mind real quick, like, so I can, say it, and I'll be like, well, wait a minute, how can I say this? So they can understand it, and it's real hard, because when you get to a certain level of life, certain education of life, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to use this for instance. Like, people talk bad about Trump, and some people hate Trump, But I like Trump. And because he was able to comprehend with the kids.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And all the kids understood what he was saying.
Right.
You know, because he dumbed it down and he knew that needed to be done. And the reason why he knew that needed to be done was because he's a businessman and he deals with people on a regular basis. So you may get somebody with a doctorate degree, you know, that will talk educated and understand educated, but then you might get someone with an associate's degree that is not at that level. So you got to sometimes dumb things down so they will understand, you know, what you're trying to say or what you want them to do. So he had that experience, you know, in dumbing things down for people to understand and gather the information in their brain to analyze and, you know, and actually comprehend what, you know, is going on. So that's one of the reasons why I like Trump, because he dumbed the stuff down and the kids knew what he was talking about. Where you have, not saying Obama wasn't a good president, because he was. I love Obama, but he was going the educated route. You can't go educated if everybody's not educated. Right. How are they going to understand you? You understand what I'm saying? Yep. Then you got Biden. He thought taking Obama's route, going educated, was going to help him. And now he's like holding his head like these people and holding his heart. Excuse me, y'all, I wasn't supposed to say that. But holding his heart like they're going to give me a heart attack. I just can't take it anymore because they don't understand what you say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Nobody's the fool here but you, and you're the educated one.
Right. It makes them feel discouraging.
Right.
Yeah.
Why should I even listen to you?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's not making any sense. You know, common sense ain't common no more.
Right.
You know?
And it took for, like, even with the vaccine, I'm going to use that for instance. A lot of people didn't understand what the vaccine was about from the beginning. Okay. And it took for other people, like podcasters like myself, radio ads, to get out there to help what they was trying to say, because nobody understood. Like, okay, you want to put this stuff in me? You got to be kidding me. And now I don't understand that crap. No, I'm not doing it. But it took for other people to dumb it down a little bit and say, hey, this is why you need to. This is what's in the vaccine. This is, you know, this is going to benefit you.
It give you the option and the choice of a reasonable choice to figure out what you want to do. If you take it, you take it. If you don't, you don't.
Right.
You know?
If you understand why. Right. You know, but they didn't understand why. Right.
Yeah. And I have to learn that too.
Even with my products, and I'm not stay too long about the products. This podcast is not about my products. It's about, you know, the military.
He got off the...
But sometimes I do that. I run off course and then I go back. You know what I mean? They know that about me already. But even with my products, you know, when I'm selling my products out in the communities, I talk to the people, you know, and I break it down to them. Why you must choose this product. You know what I mean? Why this product is best for you. What this product is going to do for you, you know. And I break it down. I literally, you know, like some days I just don't feel like working, so I won't talk to nobody. I won't market. I won't, you know what I'm saying. I won't even give them a card, even though I know they need it. You know what I mean? They might be walking funny, and I just feel like I just don't feel like it today, you know. But on the days that I do feel like working, because it's work, you know, I will give them a whole breakdown, you know, and let them ask questions, you know. Well, why is it designed to do this, and why? You know, how does it feel, and what does it do to you, you know, and then I give them that insight, but I break it down to the lowest form I can possibly break it down so they can understand, you know, and then I tell them too, do your research. Google, the computers has made it so easy. I made a song, what's the song called? Oh Lord, I make so many songs. I just made this one, Dry Haters, okay? And in that song, I say I had an IQ of 165, but the computers, they pretty much helped me. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you don't have to think anymore. You know, you don't have to read anymore. You don't have to do anything. Like, they got the Audible. When I put out my book, they said, Miss JJ Jackie, you want to do the Audible? So now you want me to talk in your ear. You know, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to do the Audible because I don't want you to have the experience of listening to my voice. You hear my voice with my music. You're not going to get that with the book too, because I want you to interpret what you read in your mind, not by my voice. Okay? Because that's the thing with reading in books. We are able to vision it the way we want to vision it in the book. So everybody perceives and understands the book differently, you know, because you're able to vision it. You know, just like, okay, it was this book called, what was the name of that book? Anyway, the book was about Baltimore.
Okay.
Okay? And I read the book. At the time, I was working in Connecticut at the airport.
It?
Oh, yeah, I loved it. I can't remember the name of the book about this black girl. And I think she was dealing with these drug dealers and stuff. Okay. But anyway, so the first thing, I couldn't vision, like, what Baltimore was because I never had been there.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
And I would like to, too.
But in my mind,
yeah,
I visioned something totally different from what I seen in Baltimore. So when I got to Baltimore, I'm like, this is Baltimore? So my whole aspect of the book changed in my mind because I was able to actually stand on the grounds of the reality. Of the book. Right. Okay. So it was like, now I see it differently. You know what I mean? So when you have an Audible, I don't know why they came up with that for lazy people, I guess. I don't know. When you have an Audible, it gives you, because everybody has emphasis on different words, different how they would how can I explain it? Like, okay, you could say a sentence. Okay, like, matter of fact, okay, like this candle says springtime in Paris. I just said springtime in Paris. Right?
Okay.
Plain, springtime in Paris. But then I can also say springtime in Paris. You understand what I'm saying? So it takes it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Of not only understanding, but then it puts a bond on the person that's doing the audible. Okay, when you don't want that. That's what music is for. That's what podcasts are for. So that's why I said that audible thing I'm not doing, because I could be reading to you and springtime in Paris, or I could be like, because springtime in Paris. No, I don't want you to get that seductive feel from my book. Yeah. And if you make that seductive feel, it's because you created it. That's what reading is about, creating it in your mind. So they stealing that away from books. So I felt some kind of way about when that person asked me, "Are you going to do an audible?" I just was like, "No, I don't want no audible. No, right. I'm not doing that. Yeah. No, I want y'all to read that. Okay, vision it yourself. Right. Don't allow me to vision it for you."
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But yeah, we all, of course, on what we was talking about. That was
military experience. No, but
I just want to throw that out there. You know what I mean?
I do agree. If anything, let me tell you a story. I'll tell you a quick story. So when I was in Kuwait, hot, very hot, remind you, and we got to walk. And for 3 meals a day. I came for those meals. I came for those meals. But then again, it's what you know, and you have to be able to be open to different things when it comes to helping out the community, the environment, the brotherhood, or like the sisterhood, whatever the case may be, just the unity within the military. Right. You can find that. And it's really Well,
I would think you have to, because if you go on a war or if you out in the wild, y'all are one. You know what I'm saying? So I would think that unity is definitely a big thing, in the military, because y'all there to protect each other. Yeah. The same like the police department, If you are an outsider, like, matter of fact, I was watching Law and Order, and
that's funny because I love Law and Order.
All right, I was watching Law and Order, and that's my favorite show. Okay. And it was an episode where the it was 2 cops that was chasing.
SVU.
Yeah, SUV.
Okay.
SVU. Anyway, the cop was chasing the cop. The cop was chasing the criminal. One cop got hit by a car. So the detectives, the SVU detectives, was on the sideline, and they saw it all going down. So now that's their field. That's their people. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're detectives and they're cops, we still got to protect and serve. So they ran in to help on, their quest of or their mission, trying to get the guy. So, long story short, the girl cop that was chasing said that they had a gun when they really didn't have a gun. However, the detective was like, okay, if they got a gun, I gotta be here to back you. It's no doubt, because you wear the same uniform that I wore, and went in. And anyway, long story short, she wound up getting shot, but he still protected her. But she wound up shooting herself because
was it the partner?
Huh?
The partner? Wasn't it a partner? They were they partners?
No, they wasn't partners
at all.
No, she was a regular police officer and he was a detective.
Olivia Benson?
No, Olivia wasn't in there. No, I'll see what episode it was and let you look at it. But
okay, I'm listening.
The point that I'm trying to make is they wore the same uniform. They're with the same organization. So his job was to back her. They were one at that moment. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever happens because I'm going to be here to back you. Same way with the military. You know what I'm saying? Y'all there to protect each other.
Almost like Bonnie and Clyde.
Pretty much. If 10 people rolled up and was ready to go to war, y'all going to war together. If a bear rolled up and tried to eat y'all still going to war together. Nobody's getting ate by this bear. You know what I'm saying? So the point still remains that's why I tell people organization means a lot. Join an organization, and we have a lot of organizations out here. And with them organizations, you come together in unity. You become one. Granted, sometimes people join organizations and they're not doing right, and it makes the organization look bad. However, they still try to help them, because they are one.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's kind of bittersweet too, because you miss you can miss the like my boy Logan. He said, it's the clowns, not the circus, or something like that. And then I realized, that's very much true. With him working with the USO and him having that military experience and background, right? And what I realized, with me being in the military, it really changed my life. It gave me an outlook on different things, and you have to be able to, like I say, risk management. Boom, bada bam.
Right.
You have to be able to make risks. Life is about risks. It's what it's kind of like what we mentioned before about how you use it. How you use it or misuse it.
Right.
Information that you use or that you get exposed to, right? You have to be able to,
It's what you do with it.
It's what you do with it.
Right.
It's really what you do with it.
That's like when people say to me.
That's why I embrace the military for what they given me the experience to have, because it really gave me an outlook on life. You know what I'm saying? It's two sides of different stories.
Right.
People have narrowed their mind to so just, little minuscule stuff. You get what I'm saying? Just small stuff that don't make no sense.
Right.
That's what minuscule is. Small stuff. Frivolous, right? Frivolous. It's like, I'm gonna break that down. Frivolous. It's not important.
Right.
It's not important. It's like sound. It's like sounds in your ear that you can't really hear, and you try to listen to the message.
Right. What is it? See, this is the thing when kids gotta learn. Mm-hmm. They gotta learn. And see, people tell me, okay, I'm wrong for analyzing stuff. People tell me that. So I always analyze everything, and I get the worst and I the best outcome. And I say, okay, this could be the worst outcome, and this could be the best outcome. And then I tell myself, okay, which route do you want to go?
Okay, yeah.
And then I make that move. But I already know it could be the worst outcome or it can be the best outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like kids need to do, they say, no, this is the thing. Oh, you overthinking. You need to overthink it. Because you need to know what you're getting into instead of just moving and it's not beneficial to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm trying to get the kids to learn. If something is not beneficial to you, don't do it. if you see too many bad outcomes on a decision, don't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't get to choose.
Like balance.
Right.
Yeah.
You only get to choose, and see, this is the gift that God has given us. We only get to choose our decisions.
That's true.
We can't choose decisions for someone else. So if you don't know what that decision, that person over here decision is going to be, you pretty much say to yourself, I can't trust that person.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Until we become one, a unity.
Yeah.
Okay, in organization, and this is where organization stands in.
Right.
I have a lot of people, I don't want to join the organization. I said, we got all these organizations out here. We got the Masons.
Yeah.
You have religious organizations.
Right.
You have Muslims. You have...
Somebody needs an organization. And that's why I need my organization. That makes sense. You just gave me something to think about.
Everyone needs an organization.
Yeah.
Because that's when you become one, and that bond is where you'll be able to trust them.
And that's why I want a non-profit organization from any like Google.
Oh, well, I'll explain that to you later off air. But
okay.
I know what you're talking about.
That makes sense.
But yeah, everyone has to have an organization in order to feel trusted, because you got to know that you're on the same page as me. We know the same things. We've been taught the same things. So we're going to rock out the same way. You know what I mean? However, you have some people, they may think this way, this one thinks this way, and you don't know this one's move versus this one's move. You'll never get nothing complete. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel, and I've been telling these guys this from the beginning, everyone must have an organization that they want to join, whether it's religious or whether it's a regular. Most organizations that's out here is religious. Okay, it's just that that's not their focus.
Right.
Their focus is discipline, and learning how to receive the information so they can build. Yeah, you know what I mean. So every organization has their perks. Every organization has their downfalls, you know, because none of us are perfect, you know. When we making these, even with the government, you know, they're not perfect either. You know, they make these rules and then they be like, oh, damn, we shouldn't have made that rule because now they're going to overlook that rule. Jeez, now we got to make another one. You know what I mean? And that's how it works. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody's perfect and no organization is perfect, but they all have their unity.
Right.
You know. And
the military has taught me that, a little bit more unity. You know, and I'm the type of person, if I wanted to do something, I want to try to like experience it first, so that way I can get to it and then build a career out of it, and then build a business out of it. And I think the military has taught me that a little bit more, because I wasn't to be honest, with me growing up, I had people around me, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just following the leader. And
that's what they do.
You know,
that's what they do. And don't even really know if it's going to benefit them.
Or following the follower. You know, I was just, I don't know. I really don't.
Now, myself, I have the music industry, which is an organization.
Yeah.
I'm with them. I run with the government organization. I do plan to run for mayor of Charlotte. I wanted governor, but I'll leave that alone because I think Charlotte needs me more. And I tell people I'm government. When I tell them I'm government, they're like, what do you mean? You know, you got some people that look at government as being a person that lives off of the government. Then you got some people that is within the organization of, look, I pay my taxes, you know, so I get to speak. Okay, so I speak because I'm government. I make sure I pay my taxes. They're going to listen to me. Okay?
Yeah.
And they get it confused, you know what I mean? And I say that to say, when people say, you know, hey, I'm government, you have to ask them, like, what part of government are you? You know what I mean? Are you that one that's always running around looking for handouts? Or are you that one that gives the handouts to the government so they can help the others? You know, and that's the side that I'm on. You know, I
give the handouts to
and so you can help the others. And this is why I have
I like that.
some leverage because I'm a taxpayer. You know,
Right.
Let me tell you what happened to me one time.
Oh, they didn't pay you for steak?
No. I was at home, and my baby, she called the police.
Oh.
Right, I was sleeping, and she was sleeping too.
Oh.
And I woke up. No, she woke up before me and grabbed my cell phone. You know, kids love cell phones.
Oh.
And she called the police. And so the police came knocking on my door, and I opened up the door. And he was like, somebody called the police. I said, I guess it was the baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, this is what he said to me. How did the baby get the phone? What? Babies pick up phones.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said, I said, I was asleep. Oh, so you were sleeping while your child is in? Okay, hold on. You know I could call Child Protective Services. I said, let me tell you one thing. Now, this is what I told him. This was in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me tell you something. I said, you call who you want to call. Okay? I'm a human being. And if me and my child went to sleep at the same time and she woke up before me, that's not neglect of my child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's number one. Mm-hmm. Okay? Number two, you're doing your job. And I'm a taxpayer. And that was, in other words, I pay your salary.
Mm-hmm.
So...
For him to have the audacity.
Exactly.
For him to
but
have
you see how some people would do stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, he said to me, no, because he thought I was one of those that seek assistance. So you see how they're trained mentally.
Okay.
Because I come to the door.
I understand.
I got dark skin.
Uh-huh.
That's already a downfall. Okay, my hair's a mess.
Uh-huh.
I'm half sleepy.
Uh-huh.
I work 70 hours a week.
Uh-huh.
I make $75,000 a year. How much do you make?
Mm-hmm.
35, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I told him. I said 35, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said I make 75.
Mm-hmm.
I work 70 hours a week. I deserve to sleep.
Right.
Get up out my face.
Dang.
And he just looked at me. You know what I'm saying? And
like that?
just like that.
Ooh.
Okay?
Nasty.
Because you disrespected me.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know who I was. You didn't know how much money I made.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And that's when I learned that Maryland was about money.
Oh.
Money is power.
That's, yeah. Yeah, I agree
okay?
with that. I agree with that.
And the moment that I told him,
mm-hmm.
you're pretty much a pauper to me. Get up out my face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Don't tell me about who you calling on me because I was resting and my child was resting. Mm-hmm. Think about what you say before you say it. Mm-hmm. Now get up out my face. Mm-hmm. Okay? And they said, Jackie, you so raw with these cops. You have to be because some of them step over their lines. Mm-hmm. Okay? You have an organization just like I'm in an organization.
Yeah.
I make more money than you. That don't give me a reason to disrespect you. So you shouldn't be disrespecting me. Okay? Same incident happened here in Charlotte.
Money, power, respect.
Listen, same incident. This is how you know the difference in police officers.
Okay.
My little baby, 3 o'clock in the morning, he playing with the phone.
Mm-hmm.
He dials 911. How did he learn how to dial 911? 911 was on the covers. Okay? The blanket. Okay? And I guess he saw the numbers and he know the phone, got the numbers, and he dialed numbers. The cop calls back and said, we got a call from here. And I said, he said, something about I heard a baby in the background. Are you guys okay? I said, yes. That was his first thing. Mm-hmm. He didn't say, what is the child doing up at 3 a.m.? Mm-hmm. Are you guys okay? I got a call from here. I said, yeah, we're fine. He said, are you sure? Mm-hmm. You know, like listening for codes of me saying, you know, like, no, we're not okay. You know what I'm saying? Let me send, you know, for him to send somebody out. You know what I mean? His theory was, I want to make sure that these people are okay before I hang up this phone. Mm-hmm. Not, oh, well, why you the baby up at 3 a.m. and you understand what I'm saying? That's how you're supposed to treat people. You don't judge people before you even know. Mm-hmm. And then that's when we get like a little ornery with it, you know what I'm saying, and nasty with it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who I am.
Right.
You don't know what my bank account says.
Yeah.
Just because I'm looking a mess.
Man.
Don't judge me.
Yeah.
Because there's millionaires walking around here with holy pants and cut off shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And you know this. But just because of the color of my skin, you're judging me. And I make more money than you and your partner put together.
Mm-hmm.
Get up out my face.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, this is going back to organizations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Organizations have to learn to... That's why I said no organization is perfect.
Right.
And everybody that you deal with is differently, and they perceive information differently.
That's right.
The cop here in Charlotte wanted to know he didn't care whether I was black, white, green, purple.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't care how much was in my bank account.
Right.
All he wanted to know are you okay before I hang up this phone so I can dispatch.
Right. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah.
So, the point that I'm getting to is we all have our flaws in organizations. We all have our bad people.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people don't want to join organizations because of the bad stories that they hear. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't want to join that organization because they might do this to me, they might do that to me. You know, just like my mom, she wouldn't let me go to the military because she heard about women being raped in the military. So she was like, no, you're not going in the military. No. And I'm like, well, Mom, it don't happen all the time. You know, I know how to handle myself and I know how to fight.
That's crazy.
I mean? But that was her theory of it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what people do. They make theories of the organizations and then they don't want to join. They make theories of these organizations and then they don't want to join, but then they're out here doing nothing with their lives when they could have joined an organization.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm about to close out this podcast. Tell them again where they can get you. You on Facebook, you're on Snapchat,
Facebook,
you're on
Snapchat.
TikTok.
Yeah.
And
TikTok.
Instagram.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, Instagram.
And all of them is
OJAYDoneDidit.
Okay, and y'all make sure y'all
Don't forget
hashtag
it.
OJAYDoneDidit. OJ is actually a mentor, coach. So if you need some information, hey, reach out to him. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Ms. JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Peace.